Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 4 of this little mini league we got here in the Future Racing League. I'm your host tonight, Co-Oliver, as always, and welcome to round 4 of the Brazilian Grand Prix. We have got a exciting round of racing coming up from these talented young sort of old racing drivers, but you know, the age doesn't matter. Anyway, welcome to round 4 of this little championship as we build up to the actual start of the new season. But let's go in before anything else. Let's go into the championship where we'll see how things stand up going into round 4. Senna leads the way with 50 points, 20 points ahead of Jim Straff, who's got a bit of catching up to do. But with that 18, with coming second place in the last race, you should be quite happy with that from Hungary. Then we go into he's 9 points ahead of X Gamer, the host of this league, who's 9 points behind Jim Straff, who's got some catching up to do. Xander, who did not start the last race, hopefully he will start again, but I think in my mind has not got a start. Fashion, who's out now, he's now left us. It's a bit of a shame that he's been replaced by Saki Benny. So welcome Saki Benny for coming into this league. And then we got the Maverick, who is left us. So it's from his car, and that is, I think it's the Williams. Yeah, I think it's the Williams. So I believe the Williams truck. We got Topics. So I think we can't. Don't think there's another Williams standing around. Right, so, and after that we got Razor. We got FC Razor. Then after that we got Bagos. Need for Speed is in P10. So fair play to Need for Speed there. Team Norshans is in P11. Ryan Matey is in P12. SFR Topics, who is here, who's in P13. Envoy Extreme is in P14 ahead of Cobalt. The flying American starts in P14. Cobalt, Andre Stani, who's in P16. Kokutaz is in P17. Lucky Team 925 is in P18. Esport Nicket is in P19, and Lewis is in P20. Onto the Constructors' Championship. So Mercedes are winning this championship ahead of McLaren, ahead of Toro Rosso, ahead of Ferrari. It was in 4th. Racing Point is in 5th. Renault are in 6th. Haas are in 7th. Alfa Romeo are in 8th. Williams are P9, and Red Bull are P10. That is the standings going into round 4 of this championship. And we're looking forward to a good round of racing coming up. I think we only got 12 races today, so unfortunately that's going to be a bit of a short stuff going into the race today, but oh well's in it. So we got a good round of race today. We've got new people coming in. We've got Ade Susi Gembo replacing Need for Speed today in the Haas. Welcome people, welcome. So yeah, I think we've got one Haas today. Need for Speed is not racing today. He has told me he's taking a break from racing games. Excuse me. He's taking a break from racing games. Ryan is taking a break from Formula 1 in general. He wants to wait till F1 2020 comes out. So we got Cobalt, the flying American, is in here. Ryan Van Doom is in here. Saki Benny, of course, like I said, Metropolitan here. Esport, Team North Chance is always here. Senna's always there. Xander's in there. McLaren's Jim Straff, second place actually. He needs a good result actually to actually push himself towards Senna, but catching Senna is a very big order. Sonic Hawk is in Senna's teammate here in P15. And Topics wants a good result today. He's there. He's here as well. So it's X Gamer, who's of course the host. So going into the start of this leg of the championship. Yeah, it's only 12 drivers, so unfortunately we can't do anything about that today. But we're going to the legendary Interlagos. Very big history. Crowned many things and had many history occasions. Big occasions, big races, big moments, special moments that should be held forever in history. I mean, who can't forget the likes of Hamilton overtaking Timo Glock on the final lap to win his first ever world championship. Remember that day in 2008. Of course, Hamilton was also involved in 2007 actually, where he had a massive problem with the car and he couldn't catch down the likes of Raikkonen. Raikkonen won his first world championship on the circuit. Schumacher has won titles on the circuit. Fernando Alonso won his second world championship here in Brazil in 2006, which is amazing. And as you can see, it's a bit of a cloudy day, but as you can tell, it's a dry track. And as you can see, the drivers are about to get ready for this session of qualifying. 12 drivers going to battle it out. On this legendary circuit of Interlagos. And off they go. Here we go. These drivers going to take onto the circuit and see how they crack on. I've been out of Toro Rosso of Saki Bene, who is out first ahead of the Ferrari. I believe it's Esports Nickard, so he's in here. So Saki Bene is out first in the Toro Rosso. Let's go on board with him. And let's go off board with him. He's got Esports just right behind him, but it's all good for now. So Saki Bene goes into his first difficult, it's into the roller coaster, in my mind, the roller coaster section of the circuit. Nice shots on the Toro Rosso. And Esports has left the session, so he's lagged out, but he can just come back in. So Saki Bene is about to start his first flying run in the Toro Rosso. See how he cracks on, and we'll hopefully see if we can get a good lap out of him. So let's see how Saki Bene will do. Going into turn 1, let's go back on board with him. Saki now going into the first corner. A bit wide there, it's quite a difficult corner to manage for the first part of the center S's. You could tell he's driving with a controller because he's the way he's stabbing the car. So you can tell he's a controller man. I am a controller man as well, to be fair, and I'm more comfortable to it. And so is Senna, to be fair. Senna's a controller person as well. Saki Bene is going into this section of course here. Let's see how he cracks on. Saki Bene will try his best to see if he can try to get a good time in. He's doing very well through the circuit, so into the roller coaster part. Heavy braking, go to the slow right corner there, very nicely done. And let's see how the guy will do and run this final section of course. Bit deeper to Zhengzhou corner, but it's all good. Now it's a flat out sprint to the line. Here he comes. And Saki Bene does a 1:11.2, so that's all good in his mind. Here comes Cobalt. And just have a look at team. Where's the Haas driver? Where's that? There he is. There he is. So it got in the Suzuki Gembo. Puts in a nice time as well. Here comes Topics. Let's go back to Cobalt. Cobalt's about to come through. By Cobalt, it's a 1:09.7, and Team Notion puts in a 1:09.9, and Topics or 1:09.4, so he goes into pole position. And I think whoever just crossed the line there, I believe Senna puts in a time of a 1:09.2, so The drivers can go faster. Remember, they can. It's just their sight to laps. Very good stuff from the drivers, of course. So we've got, who else is on a? None of these guys on a lap. Ryan Van Doom is. Let's have a go aboard with the Red Bull. Van Doom doing his best to try and he's lifting off. I think he's backed out of the lap. Esports is still out there. Where's the game to catching up to Esports? There he is. There's Esports back in his car. It's going to see X Gamer's coming out of the car. Is in the car now, flying off into the distance. You got guys starting to come back into the pits after their first runs. There's the Haas driver of Ade Susi Gembo. It's going to be close between Senna and Topics, but don't count out X Gamer just yet. There he is on his final lap in the Ferrari, and so is Esports as well. Both Ferraris are out there. James Strav still yet to go out, so is Xander and Sonic Hawk. Esports about to start his lap now. Let's see how he does in the Ferrari. Here we go, starts the lap now, and next game will be it's just coming around towards the final few turns. Very nicely done from Esports, Nickett. 3 people watching. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in for this fourth round of this mini league. Purple through the first sector. Nice sport stuff and Esports, Nickett. Esports now trying to do his best to see if he can get close to the top, but this will be the defining part of the lap. This section of track. Oh, and you see what I mean? It's an invalid to lap, so he's not going to do. He's got to back off. So because X Gamer. Go back on board with him. It was a nice shot in the Ferrari. Fully left, and off he goes. So see how the Ferrari man will do into this next session of course. Doing his best, and that's as the Mercedes go very slowly. I believe it's Sonic Hawk. It is Sonic Hawk. I don't know if it is, because I believe it's Xander. I think it's Xander. I believe it's Xander. So let's have a look. He's trying to move out the way for the other drivers, I believe, because X Gamer 1 minute 8.8. So with the soft tyres, he's gone I think around 5/10 faster. So which is very good to see. Van Doom is, I don't know if he's on a lap or not. He's going very slowly for a lap, so I don't think he is. Oh, Saki Benny has lost his front wing, so he must have a massive accident somewhere, so that's a real big shame. Xander is on a lap, so let's have a look at Xander in the Toro Rosso. Doing his best to see, he's pushing hard. Is Xander pushing hard to see what he can do. Xander is going purple, I think, for his own time, or it's going to be around the top guys. To see how Xander does. Flies through into this final part of the circuit. Xander does this, opens the DRS, flies down towards the main straight. Xander goes into 1 minute 9.6, so goes into 4th place. So nice win there from Xander. His Topics just started his lap now. Be interesting to see how he cracks on in the Williams. Topics is going to do his best to push hard towards Senna, and of course let's go. These 3 guys are the main contenders for the championship. Esports has led the sessions. He's lagged down again. Topics has set the fastest first sector out of all of them. Topics is flying. This goes into the second sector. He's keeps the car clean. Goes into this slow right-hander. Very nicely done from Topics there. Topics hugs the apex, launches the car out and into this left slow right-hander. There goes into the left. Just hugging the car to that inside. as good as he can. Purple for the second sector. He's 6/10 faster than X Gamer. He's doing very well. Topics is doing all he can to see if he can push off X Gamer. 1 minute 8.8 to beat, and Topics goes until the 1 minute 8.8 as well, but only just beating top X Gamer. So very good work there for Topics, and that's going to spot a load of things in the pits as well. So let's have a look at the gap. Let's have a look what it is. Look at that, 24 thousandths faster. Look at that, absolutely brilliant stuff there from Topics. So that's what we like to see. What's all the other guys going to do? Right, Van Dude's on an outlap. He's just came out. So it's Adis Susi Gamble. He's about to start his lap very soon. So let's see how look at how the Haas driver does in the car. Esports has led the session again. He's not having a good time with his internet connection. Hopefully he can do a lap. Hopefully he does. It comes Susi Gamble trying to do what he can. He's on a land now. He's got a ball with the Haas man. Does well through the center S's. Goes towards turn 4. Breaks the 100-meter board. Turns the car in. Hugs the apex very nicely. Gives a very clean exit. Turn 5 is just a kink. Then towards turn 6. Nicely done. Towards turn 7. This is where the slow areas come in. He's working at hers very well. Working that around the brake with the brake balance or the differential. Susi Gamble doing his best now to see what he can do. Through this left-hander he goes. Pushing his car to the actual limit. He's 3/10 faster than his previous time. He's looking very good. He's looking around Xander's time. Senna has to come out here. X Gamer is though. I think he started his lap, so we're going to have a look at X Gamer in a second. Here comes Gamble in towards the final straight now. Gamble goes into P4, takes down Xander. It comes Ryan Van Du, 900 thousandths faster. 5/10 faster though in that sector. Purple sector 2 is on for a very quick time, but can he get that Red Bull towards into higher heights? He's looking around P3 or 4. Van Du goes into P3, so pushes Senna down. Good whip for Van Du, 1 minute 9.2. Nicely done. Senna's still in the pits, but he'll be out very soon. Here comes Cobalt. Cobalt is looking around. Here goes the flying American doing it again. Goes into P4. It goes into 1 minute 9.2 as well. And it goes off track for his reward. Senna is coming out of the pits now, so he's going to be pushing on for his lap. Here's Team Nortions. His laps are validated. Saki Benny, his laps are validated. Here's Sonic Hawk, his laps not invalidated. Here comes, what's the Indian going to do? Pushing on now. Doing his best to see if he can get that Merc into the top points, top spots here. Sonic Hawk is Senna's teammate, so he wanted to do well. Sonic Hawk goes into P9 and it goes and it pushes Saki Benny now. We haven't seen the likes of Jim Strav yet. Don't know what he's up to. Saki Benny now will probably do another lap. I don't know why. His Urs is completely shot. Esports has joined us again. Welcome back, Esports. I think Team Nortions has already done his lap, so let's see where Senna is. Where's Senna? He's in P5 at the moment. Let's have a look where he is. There he is on his out lap. So Senna Martins, let's see what he can do. Pushes that Mercedes to the actual edge. He does his out lap. Off he goes. 1 minute 8.8 to beat. It was a very good time for Topics, but Senna knows he can beat him. 26 thousandths faster than his previous. Purple in that first sector alone. Senna is really gunning for it. In that Mercedes has got on board with Senna. Last time he drove here in GP4, it was not a good day in the office for him. So it's retribution for Senna. Look at that, he's pushing that car to the absolute limit. Oh, goes wide, and that's the lap done for Senna, and he knows it. He has to go again. Senna knows he has to think what to do next. Very one way to, and he calls it off. 5 people watching us. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Brazilian Grand Prix. Both Red Bulls are coming out now. Van Doom and Cobalt, they're both going out together. Esports is still on the circuit. Let's see what Esports can do. Can he actually get a lap in? If possible. Esports doing his do what he can now to see if he can get that Ferrari up. Let's see what he can do in that Scuderia Ferrari. Into the first turn, then into turn 2, they'll follow to turn 3. Nicely done through the center messes. Please don't leave us again, Nickett. Pushing into the first corner, purple through the first sector. It's looking good already. Into the towards the second part of that second sector. Nicker looking very good. Oh, he's looking all over steering now. That's his lap gone because of the McLaren of, I believe it was T. Norshins was there. So that's unfortunate. Dan giving his encouragement to Sonic. He's got a big fan base. It's Sonic, isn't he? Ryan Van Doom is in there. Let's see what he can do in the Red Bull. And Cobalt is there too. So both Red Bulls are looking to go as fast as they can go. And as Susi is out of the session, he has not had enough for qualifying. And he's going to retire in P6 or lower because Ryan Van Doom and Cobalt will do their best to catch down the top lot. Ryan Doom knows in P3, who's just behind Cobalt. Cobalt's into them two in the second sector now. You can actually just see his teammate on the screen. So Ryan Van Doom now, we can see his teammate just there. He's just there. Right, let's have a look at Cobalt because he's just ahead of him. He's at P4. P4 Cobalt. P4 let's see big in P3 Cobalt. Senna is in P5. Can he take down can he actually take down his teammates? Purple in the second center. Let's see what Cobalt could do. Can he get a little bit of slipstream for Topics? That'd be amazing to see. It comes. Come on now into the 1 minute 8. 1 minute 8.9. So he goes into P3. Ryan Van Doom. I don't know what happened to him, but he's gone. I think he span into the Jean-Charles chicane or Jean-Charles corner, and that'll be his qualifying done. So Cobalt will be his teammate. What about X Gamer? Saki Bene is retired. He's had enough. Van Doom understandably retires. Cobalt into the 1 minute. Oh, look at this Esports nigga. Wow. To 1 minute 8.3. Topics will have to respond. I didn't see that, but the Ferrari man is in pole position. Ferrari looking strong. So Dummies Topics is now got to think about to see if he can push down Esports nigga. But Topics it's got all to do. Into the final part of the second sector. It's purple, 2/10 faster. It's looking pole at the moment, but is it enough to beat Esports? Topics goes into the final few corners, pushes up Williams as fast as he can go. Here comes Topics into the final part last of the track. He does go into second. Does not do enough. So it's X Gamers. Can X Gamer defeat Esports, or is Esports going to get his first pole of the season? Let's see if X Gamer can push him off. Senna, where is he at? He's on a lap as well. Let's keep it on X Gamer first. Senna's just there. Senna's just there. But Senna X Gamer is 81,000 faster. Can X Gamer push down Topics? No, he does not. Let's go have a look at Senna. Senna now goes into P. Oh, Senna beats Esports only just now. Unbelievable now. 33 thousandths faster than Esports. Nick, and Senna will take pole position by the skin of his teeth. That was unbelievable from the Mercedes man. And Senna does what Senna does best, is breaking down barriers and breaking pole positions, and that's what he does. Senna's very, very happy, and I can't understand, and I really, really do understand him. That was a sensational lap from the Mercedes driver. This is your lineup for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Senna starts first after an incredible lap, beating Esports Nico by the skin of his teeth. Torres starts P3, Schema 4th, Colwalt starts P5, Zanna starts P6, Van Du P7, Susie Gamebow will be in P8, Nordschens P9, Sonic in P10, Bene in P11, and Jibstrap P12. Mr. Cobalt. Well, hello, Mr. Cobalt, the flying American. This will be a very interesting race up ahead of us. 12 drivers going to take on this legendary Interlagos circuit. Let's see what the drivers will have to take, and hopefully it will be a clean race. So hopefully we'll have no incidents, and we get all 12 drivers, of course, to be competing in this race. So just waiting now for the drivers to log in, doing their strategies, picking what will be the right strategy to go into the pits. Senna is super, super happy, and I don't blame him. That was an sensational lap. Both the Ferraris and X Gamer and Esports and the winnings and topics, they'll be there as well to keep a certain eye on things. See what Sakabene and Jinstraff went on for the tyres. They went soft tyres, of course. They did. Sonic was the only one to start on the medium tyres. It's very interesting to see. So 36 laps of 12 cars racing through this wonderful Interlagos circuit. Senna will be immensely pleased to be starting P1 after that extraordinary lap. And let's see what the drivers can do. Just waiting for the drivers to come through, just warming up the tyres and the brakes of their preparations for this race. So we'll be interested to see what strategies they go on. The tyres can go around to 12 to 13 or possible 14 laps, especially the softs. So let's see what the drivers are capable of. The game will now take over. The game is now taken over, so that means the drivers can't do nothing more now but wait for the start. Senna lines his Mercedes on pole. Esports second, Topics third, X Gamer fourth, Cobalt fifth, Xander sixth, Ryan Van Doom seventh, Gable eighth, Nordschens ninth, Sonic Court 10th, Sake Benny 11, Jim Straff 12. We're about to get underway for the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix to 5 red lights, and we are getting underway now. And Senna is gone off to a great start, and Esports is looking down the inside but looking very good at the start. But let's see what the other drivers can do. Oh my goodness me, we had a car overboard. I think it was a glitch or not. It wasn't a glitch. It was Sissy Gembo went over the top of a car. That was amazing, but very sad to see. Oh, it got Saki Bene, and then I think it was Xander and Team Nordstrom fighting with each other. We got the Red Bulls of 5 Van Doom and Cobalt in P5 and 6. So Cobalt has dropped for place, and Xander's lost place as well. And 5 Van Doom and Cobalt spun. So both Red Bulls doing synchronized spinning, so that's not what I want. Well, that's something to see. Not what you see every day, but Megan Goatstander gets into that P9 position. The Red Bulls will be very annoyed with themselves. The Angry Bulls will not be happy about that. We got Sonic Hawk and Dean Orchard and having a little battle with each other. Let's have a look at the front lot. Look at this. The 4 cars are now rocketing towards the start of the second lap of this race. And we got Esports Nicholas Senna and Gamer and Topics, Lion Astern. It's 1:15.5 by Senna, and as it goes into the first corner, we've got Esports. Suzuki Gembo's glitch into P1, which is a bit strange to see. So the game will hopefully fix itself up. There you go. Right, so we're into the first part of we just completed the first lap of this race, so that's good to see. We're into lap 2, right, and see how these drivers will go on. Leeds Horse and X Gamer are close to Trevor Stern. Setner is doing very well in the Merc. See what he can do. But the Ferraris are Line and Stern, but looking to see if there's any opportunity to can pounce. Esports went a bit wide, but it's okay. Sonic Hawk is retired from the session, and he's gone into the barriers of this corner there. But so unfortunate for Sonic Hawk, he's out of this race. But now back to the 4-car battle for P1, and as you can see, Xander's starting a little bit close enough, but not close as yet to these guys at the front. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Since the drivers had to slow down to their minimum speed. Senna's already warming up the tyres. Look at this. It's going to be interesting when the cars get underway. Who's going to get a good reaction time? Who's going to get a good reaction when the virtual safety car ends in about a moment or two? So bad luck there for Sonic Hawk there. That was unfortunate to be crashed out of that sort of turn, but anyway, stuff happens. You can't do nothing about it. DRS is now enabled. We're back on the way again after that restart. So this 4-car battle. And look at this, and Topics is going down the inside of X Gamer, looking to see if there's an opportunity, and X Gamer fought him off, and Esports is all over the back of Senna Martins, looking down the inside of the Mercedes, and still stays behind. Esports goes onto the grass a bit, but stays in P2, so this is going to go looking towards the pit. Obviously, they're looking for advantage in the pit stops. Don't forget, the first pit stop is crucial. Esports is all over the place, and he's got a 3-second penalty for his troubles. He goes wide, and that means that Gamer and Thomas will go through, and Esports has left the session. He's lagged out again, so unfortunate for him. Now into the Topics. I'll go forward with the winnings man, giving Eskimo a run for his money. It's going down the inside. He's all locked, good friends, and then now Thomas goes into P2, but not just yet. X Gamer still there in that Ferrari, and Thomas is through with a great move, going into the center rest. X Gamer is not done just yet. He goes into the turn 4 corner and swoops past back into P3, and Senna is going to love every second of this because these two are fighting with each other. Instead of catching Senna, look at Thomas flying all over the back of X Gamer. Just slipstream his rear, just slipstream the back of Skipper. Skipper with a bit of a slide going into this little section here. But Thomas is going to think to himself, I've got an opportunity. I've got a very massive opportunity to get a result. Look at that. Cobalt just gone into the medium tyres. Cobalt's on the mediums. So he's going to see if he can try and get to the end of this 36-lap race. Senna is just there in the Williams. Let's see how X Gamer holds off Topics. Topics is going to see if he has an opportunity on the back of that Ferrari. So there's another run of the Ferrari driver. Topics is doing all he can to see if he can get past this. Senna 1 minute 12.0. Senna's launching away now, flying through the gears of the Senna S's. He's got to overtake there. That's Ryan Van Doon taking down Team Norshins. That's P7 for Ryan Van Doon. Ryan Van Doon gets a bit deep there. I'll give Team Norshins another go on the Red Bull driver. Let's see what he can do. Is Team Norshins goes down to the inside. There's his teammate Jim Strav is just there. And a bit of a smack to the side of the Red Bull. And Team Norshins is through and off he goes into the distance to see if he can try and catch down his teammate of Jim Strav. Let's go back to the battle for P2. I think Thomas is backed off just a bit to get and to see if he can get Escamer another go. Senna's got 1.4 seconds at lead ahead of Solid of X-Gamer. Topics is going to try and close down that gap, but you can see the Urs is not looking great. At 1:11, at 1:11.7, so X-Gamer has responded to Senna. And there's Asusi Gambo. Still thinks he's P1, but he really isn't. He's just not, isn't. It's just the game playing with our eyes. As well as Ryan Van Doon and Team Norshins side by side again. So Van Doon will pass it back on the inside. Close finders between the two. There's Team Norshins. Oh, bang wheels again. So these two having a little bit of a squabble. Oh, cuts on the inside of the Red Bull. Naughty for Team Norshins. That will be reviewed into the stewards for that one. A big cut across Ryan Van Doon's car, and I don't think Van Doon will be best pleased about that. To see how the other guys will crack on. The gas are spread out, but except for Topics and X-Gamer. Look at this, X-Gamer is catching up to the back of Senna. So these drivers are very evenly matched, except for Topics, who's under a second again of the Ferrari driver. To see how Topics will crack on with the Ferrari of X-Gamer. X-Gamer 1:11.6 put into his name, so he's pushing hard to catch down to Senna. He's just there in the murk, but Senna will say, will just drive away as he can create that gap to these two. It all comes down to the pit stop to forget. X-Gamer doing his best to hold off Topics. Doing his best though. So it's just 4/10 of a second between the two. I think X-Gamer's got a bit of a slime going into there, or it's just my eyes. I think it's just my eyes. It's just playing me there. 5/10 is between the two cars. Look at X-Gamer doing his best to catch down Senna, but in the same time, look at that, it's under a second. So these two are very close with each other. It's all down to see who can react first in the pit stops. Don't forget, it's still too early just yet. The tyre is still 6 laps old. Cobalt is on 5 lap old medium, so just keep it on Cobalt because you never know what he could be playing. Into later on in this race. X-Gamer sits on 1:11.6 going into turn 1. Senna's just there. X-Gamer's there. And Topics is there. See what these three drivers can do. These three drivers are very good friends. Very, very close friends, to be fair. Don't forget, Senna and X-Gamer are both Belgians. So, and look at this DRS on Senna there, but X-Gamer is still not close enough just yet to catch up to Senna. Thomas is falling behind, probably to save his Urs for another attack. He's probably saving the Urs just a bit to see how X-Gamer will catch down to Senna. Look at this, Ferrari and Mercedes fighting up for first. You usually see that in real life, so it's quite suitable. X-Gamer, what can he do in that bright red Ferrari? Can he take down that silver arrow? This is very intriguing. Very, very intriguing to see what these lot can do. Pushing hard now is X-Gamer. X-Gamer now towards the back of Senna, but not just yet. Senna Martin's doing all he can to keep X-Gamer all behind him. Now X-Gamer's going to get a bit of a run on that Mercedes. Senna will know that. He's going defensive to the inside line. Here comes X-Gamer side by side. These two are very close to touching. but Senna still holds on, but X Gamer still holds there. Senna will now have to concede the place because X Gamer swoops into first place, but Senna goes back on the outside. Oh, what a move from Senna, and that's why he's a world champion in another league for a reason. Here comes the moves like that, and Senna is back into first place. And you think, and since again, but you think he's in the lead, but he really isn't. So Senna back into the lead of this race, and Topic's now in the back of X Gamer. These three drivers are producing good racing already, and I love it. Who loves a good race in this championship? And we got X Gamer doing his best to hold off Topic, but X Gamer is trying to close it to Senna. Look at these three go. This is fantastic to watch. Saki may get the 10. Oh, who's that just went off? That can't be Thomas. It is. Thomas went off on the first part of the Senna races. What happened there? Must have a shot or something. But now he's gunning to hear that Topic. It's not. It has to rely on the pit stops. So Senna and X Gamer are the top two to fight off this battle. We've also got Cobalt and Esports fighting it off, but Esports is lagged out of the session, so Cobalt has an easy overtake. Saki Benny into the pits. Let's go back to the top two of X Gamer and Senna. The two Belgians. Do you know what has 3 second head time penalty for multiple warnings? Exceeding those track limits, and you get a penalty. This is X Gamer now. 7/10 behind Senna. Senna has still got a decent gap. 6/10, 5/10, 4/10. Onto the brakes. 3/10 into the first part of the course through the Senna S's. X Gamer will try and see if he can get a pass on Senna in a moment. It's down to 2/10 a second. Is he close enough? Goes for a big lunge down the inside, but thinks better of it because Senna comes off that inside line. Good defending there for Senna. Good braking from Senna as well. So Senna will do his best to see if he can hold off X Gamer for a lot more longer. X Gamer will be thinking to himself, have I got the chance to take down Senna? Or is Senna going to be thinking otherwise? Interesting to see, that is a Toro Rosso round. That looks like it is Xander. No, it's not. It is Saki Benny. It is. He's just still standing there. He'll be disqualified as a move. He's got to move. Let's go back to the round on the front now. Has he moved? He has moved. Saki Benny is now a lap down. Let's go back to the battle of the front. Look at this helicopter shot between Senna and X Gamer. And X Gamer, look at the power of the DRS. He's coming towards Senna, goes to another lunge down the inside. Can he get through? Oh, and he almost had it in the back of Senna. He had touch, and X Gamer touched Senna, and he's gone round. So that presents. And that gives Topics a chance to go into second place. So great work from the winnings man. And you figure Sessi Gemo is in P2, then you're questionably mistaken. And I think Topics will be very annoyed that Sessi Gemo is actually not in. He's blacked out the session. So he goes into second place with 4 seconds to catch to Senna. It's all down to the safety car. Xander is on the back of X Gamer because the X Gamer's small mistake. So it's now for the battle of P3. You think it's P4, but it's actually P3 because Sessi Gembo is it's sort of lagged into the session. Or is he? I don't know. Right, we're good to see. Oh, it's a massive smack of wheels out of Sessi Gembo and Xander. There you go, he goes into the game is just glitching Sessi Gambo all over the place. It's really hard for my eyes to see. So we're going to see if Xander can close up to X Gamer, but I feel like X Gamer is a bit too quick for Xander's liking, but don't count on Xander for anything. and off they go into the deeper part of the course. So let's see what the drivers can do. We're on the 12 lap part of the soft tyres. So these drivers will be starting to think about, when can I go off these soft tyres and go onto either the mediums or the hards. Cobalt is on the medium tyres. He's on 11 lap on mediums after he had a little incident of his own. So it depends what these drivers can do in these runs, what they're going to do. Topics gets a 5-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane. Mohammed Dan was a bad place there for Topics. Let's have a look how he does in his pit stop. In he comes. The tyres he's selecting is the hards. So Topics is definitely going to the end on his race. And off he goes, and we got Jim Stroud overtaking Topics, and I believe Team Notions as well. Yes, he does. Gives a hint of Topics, but don't forget Topics is on those fresher tyres. So this will be a very big thing to have. And Topics goes down the inside, and he gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And Ceci Gambo is going is spinning the wrong direction, and Topics gets it. So that means Thomas will go into 5th. What about Senna? Is he coming in? No. Is X-Gamer coming in? Are they going to respond to Topics? X-Gamer says no. Xander, yes. Xander's in the pits. Topics is round the final turn. I think Topics has got Xander. And here comes Xander now into the stops, and off he goes. And there goes Topics into 5th, overtaking Xander. Notions is through. Where is the top guys? There's Senna. Oh, I'm trying to get to Senna, but it's again, but it's not letting me allowed to go to Senna. There he is, and there's X-Gamer chasing him. You can actually see Senna's car going into this part of the course here. He's coming onto the lats car of esports. So what's Senna going to do? Is he going to stop now? He's on 14 lap old softs now. His car will be screaming for new tyres, but Senna's a very cautious driver, and he's going down for another lap. X-Gamer, he's still going round for another lap. So they're lap 15 on their soft tyres. I think they're looking after the tyres very well, these two drivers. So some of our closest fights so far. Let's see what we can find. As esports is in the pits. Xander goes into P6. Notions is in now. The ghost car of esports Nika is back out. Team Notions comes out in P7, I believe. Where is Cobalt? There's Cobalt. Team Notions is just there. Cobalt can catch him? I don't think it's possible, because there is Notions there, and Cobalt is just come around the final part now. There he is, and Cobalt will have to try and catch down Notions on track. But Team Notions on fresher mediums. Senna is in the pits now. X-Gamer is coming into the pits now. So the two Belgians is coming in. Yes. I'll have to put you on mute now, Harry, because I'm just doing the commentary on the race. Alright, still at Need for Speed. That was a little word for Need for Speed, but there you go. Right, it's back on the racing action. And look at this, and James Strav and Senna are about to fight through. So Senna's go down the inside, look, James Strav, can these two not touch? And they are just not yet. James Strav holds on. James gets a 3-second time penalty. Senna will be thinking to himself, I've got opportunity to think about overtaking James Strav. James Strav is just there, doing his best, doing what he can. Told off Senna, but remember his tyres have been on since the very start. So these two were thinking to themselves, I've got to think about and look at that, Senna could tell by the grip of Senna's tyres. He's got way much more better traction. James Strav nearly shut Senna off the circuit. But now James Strav is coming in to the stops and get rid of his soft tyres. And that means Thomas will go back into P3 and X-Gamer, Senna P1, Thomas P2 and X-Gamer P3. So now it's all down to the drivers to see what they can do now in the final few towards the second part of this race. Let's go down to Team Nortions and Cobalt. These two are the closest fight, so let's have a look at these two, see what they can crack on. Cobalt with DRS on the back of the McLaren of Team Nortions. This is for fight for P7. There's James Strav coming out now. He's going to be overtaken by this lot, and Cobalt overtakes him, but James Strav is there as well. So Cobalt is going to be sandwiched between two of the McLarens in the McLaren sandwich, so that's going to be interesting to see. Cobalt's on 16 lap old mediums. He's been on them ever since he had a little incident. Cobalt gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so exceeding the track limits there. Look at these three. They're trying to figure out how to go if Senna gets a fast lap of the race of a 1:11.5, and then Netscaler responds by going 5 tenths faster than him, so he's pushing hard on his stint. Thomas is the only one on the hard tyres in that top 3 battle. So, and there's a massive accident, massive pile-up between Team Nortions and Cobalt, and that's going to spot something up. I think it was an accident, in my opinion, and Cobalt goes into the pits, leaving the two McLarens to go ahead with their race. So now, Cobalt comes in. I think he's lost some parts of his wing, so that's a bit of a shame to see. He had such a good qualifying as well, did Cobalt. And there's that front wing change, and the guys at Red Bull are going to be going to release Cobalt, and off he goes. So let's have a look how the other lot are doing now. Gets Gamer pushing up towards Topics. Senna Martin's doing his best. Look at that, 2.3 seconds. Topics and X-Gamer. X-Gamer does love this circuit. He's actually won here in the SFR GP4 season not too long ago on Monday, so that'll bring us some motivation. But with Senna being 3.3 ahead, it's going to be a very difficult gap to catch, but don't count out X-Gamer just yet as he goes down to the inside of Topics and does so brilliantly, and off he goes to try and catch down the flying Merc of Senna Martins, and so Thomas might have something to say about it as he try and get his hard tyres to go the distance. But remember, the mediums could go the distance well. 16 laps to go of this Brasilia Grand Prix as the two McLarens still line as stern, trying to catch down to Zander, but Zander has a huge gap. He's like there, and none of the McLarens are there, so really, in my opinion, that chase is long gone. So Ryan Van Doob is trying to catch down to these two McLarens as Cobalt is coming through the CNRSs now. So let's see what they can do. So let's have a look at Topics. Let's go starting to pull away from Topics now, and the drivers now getting into the rhythm of the second part of this race. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see what the next races are coming up for this league. So what we're going to do is go at the calendar and see where we're at. So the next race after this, we're going to the Circuit of the Americas. We're going to USA for the American Grand Prix. That's coming up next Thursday. So we join us for that one for the Circuit of the Americas. And we go to Austin, Texas for the American Grand Prix. So let's have a look what we've got doing on down in the order then. So let's have a look at the order. Senna's leading the race ahead of, as you can see, Senna is leading the way ahead of X Gamer, ahead of Topics, ahead of Xander, who's miles ahead of Jedstrav. T Norshans is there too. Ryan Van Doom is in P7. Caldwell is in P8. Suzuki is in P9. Esports Nicker is in P10. And Saki Benny is in P11. And Sonic Hawk is the only retirement. And fair play to Saki Benny, who's still racing on even though he's a lap down. And fair play to him for keeping going, because I can't do that at all. I just, if I'm a lap down, and I'm just going to go ahead and rage quit. Okay, back to the action. Ray Van Doom is on the back of Team Norchans, and he's about to try and line up a pass. So Van Doom is definitely caught up to the back of those two McLarens. 3.3 now between Senna and X Gamer. Let's see what Ray Van Doom will be planning against that McLaren, shall we? See what he can do. Susie Gambo is literally just lagging around the order and literally trying to go back to the top and back to his original spot in P9, but that's just the game for you, innit? As we're heading towards the new 2020 game, which we're all looking forward to watch, looking forward to play. Mind you, 2019 has been a great game, but 2020 will be even better. Ray Van Doom, can he catch T Norshans before the end of the race? I'm afraid to say, I wish that would be the same to say with X Gamer and Senna. Gap 3.1 seconds between the two cars. These two are 0.6 of a second. So Ryan Van Doom doing his best to try and catch down to T Norshans, but Norshans still holding on with his 7-lap-old mediums. I believe the medium runners can go a lot more further than they can be. Jim Strav is now pulling away from this group, and Ryan Van Doom went wide, so he'll probably lose the DRS territory as well. Was that Xander? And Topics is spun, and Topics is not going down the order. What's happened to Topics? Topics is now gone. I think is he out? Is he out? Xander goes into P4. Well, P3 because Susie Gambo. Is Topics out of the Grand Prix? He's not moving. Still not moving. And there you go. He's disqualified. Topics out of this race. Wow. Unbelievable. I think something happened to his game, I believe. And there you go. Topics is out. What a shame. Sasaki Benny gets P10 for being a lap down. So fair play to him. So the running order now is Senna, X Gamer, Xander. That's a very good order. So what a shame for Topics. That's a real shame. Well, he'll be back. There's Topics. He will be back for sure. Jim Strav look at this from Ryan Van Doom pushing hard towards T Norshans again. 2.7 is between X Gamer and Senna. Senna's got this race under control at the moment. The race has slightly calmed down. 8/10 of a second now between the two of them. Doing their best. Well, Ryan Van Doom is doing his best to see if he can try and get past Team Nortions. Thomas has left the session. Look at that. Oh, late on the break in there from Ryan Van Doom. Let's see if he can get past Team Nortions. Team Nortions is doing all he can to see if he can hold off Ryan Van Doom behind. But Ryan Van Doom is not a tricky customer. Well, it is a tricky customer, I should say. You can go one way or the next. Can Ryan Van Doom get past Team Nortions? Doing his best to see what he can do. Oh, I understand that, topics. It's completely understandable. Now we're going to see if Team Norchance could do his best to fend off Van Doom. Van Doom is pushing hard. Van Doom closing in. Van Doom is not close enough just yet to Team Norchance's McLaren. He's doing a good job in that McLaren as Team Norchance to keep Ryan Van Doom away. 2.7 is the gap between Senna and Netsgamer, so Senna's got this all under control. They're just coming towards the end of the Senna S's, and these two are still squabbling. Let's see how Van Doom will plan. Is he waiting it out, or is he going to attack towards the latter part of the race? Is he thinking the medium tyres will go? Is he thinking otherwise? Look at that. See, you can look at that. He gets a better line than Norchance does. Ryan Van Doom closing in on Norchance, and he does start to attack. He's getting closer to that McLaren, but not just yet. Oh, and Van Doom makes a mistake, goes wobbly, and that's his attack finished. That is a shame. He was closing and closing and closing, then that happens. So I believe Team Norchance is safe for now. 1.5 seconds. Van Doom can close back up to him. 2.7 is the gap between Senna and Netsgamer. Senna's another 12.2 behind. Then it's followed by Jim Strav. Then Norchance and Van Doom. Be interesting to see actually how the drivers will plan out towards the latter part of the race. Really, they're all settling down towards this end, come towards the end of the race. So look at Senna and X. There's the gap. I don't believe only Suzuki-Gembo is in that position. Oh, he says my eyes playing me, I don't know. So wait till the end of the race happens. Let's have a look at Senna and X. 2.5 seconds between the two, both on 12 lap old mediums. You can see Netsgamer's pushing hard, 2.4 now. It's the gap, he's pushing really hard to catch down Senna. But has he got enough time to catch the Mercedes driver? It's interesting to see how he tries to play it out, because he got driving the car as well through these sections of the circuit. It depends how drivers will see out the tyres and see what the driving style is like as well. It all depends. It all depends of where these drivers will think they'll come. It depends on penalties. It depends on their driving style. 1.4 is the gap between Van Du and Nordschens. It'd be interesting to find out what these drivers will be capable of in this calm, where with 6 laps to go. Is Etzgamer going to attack on Senna? With that amount of airs, he's not. Senna's got enough airs in the tank to hold off Etzgamer. Oh, and Etzgamer goes a bit off, goes very wide at the exit. Loses 4 tenths to Senna. You can tell Etzgamer is pushing, but I don't think that amount of pushing is going to do well for him. Because Senna's got this all under control in that Merc. And to fight and to see if Etzgamer could try and close down the Senna is another question. He's got 6 laps to do it, but Senna's keeping a very, very good gap to Etzgamer. Let's see how well the other drivers are doing. Back to Van Du and Nordschens. 1.4 is the gap. Van Du a bit wobbly going into this corner. There is Nordschens just there. 1.2 is the gap. It's like he only gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. See how Van Du will see if he can try and catch down to the team Nordschens, but Nordschens is holding off a very good gap, but it's now towards under a second. He's in the DRS territory, but once he gets back up to speed, that gap will increase again. Has Van Du got DRS? He does, so he's got the rear wing open, so that means he'll close in only slightly to Team Nordschens. So Nordschens will have to think about now that Van Du is just going to be on the back of his McLaren. Van Du is just there. It's now 3 tenths now. Those hard tyres are starting to come into their own, and Team Nordschens knows that. Team Nordschens knows that Van Du will have the penetration. This is going to be immense to see what these drivers can do. Van Du is going to looking to bring Team Nordschens down a place. Van Du is looking to get that Red Bull up to 5th, but Team Nordschens still holds on. He's pushing. Oh, very aggressive in my opinion. Oh, he hit the back. They touched as well. Van Du is not. It's going to be pushing now. He's letting Nordschens know, I am there. I am going to take your 5th place, whether you like it or not. Nordschens now, he's going to try and think about defending off Van Du. Van Du is not having none of it though. He's going to try and bring down that McLaren. Go on board with him. Van Du goes to the inside, tries to go to the outside line to see if he can get past that McLaren. Good. Oh, it touched again and again. And they have touched, and that's Team Nordschens round, and Van Du is through. But Nordschens will be complaining on that note. But Van Du is through. Yellow fan said with that is for Team Nordschens, and Etzgamer is still trying to catch down Senna, but the gap is always increasing. It's now under 3 seconds. It's a bit too late for Etzgamer, but it's all down to Senna if he can make a slight mistake. That's all Etzgamer is hoping for. But with that pace and that speed and always his control, the man is not human at all. And so we're coming towards the final stages of this race. And to be fair, Senna has controlled it beautifully. He's fending off the earlier challenge of Etzgamer, and now he's going to be pushing on. To another victory in his Formula 1 online career. He'd be very happy with this, wouldn't he? A little smile coming into the Belgian's helmet, and I think slight redemption for Monday, in my opinion. It's going to taste real sweet for this flying Belgian, and to be fair for the other Belgian Etzgamer, you're probably thinking to yourself, there he is. You can be saying to yourself, I will be back for the next race in a week's time. as Cole Walker to 3-second time penalty with multiple warnings. If you have this guy in your league, you have to be on your best to try and stop him, because if you don't, he'll just give you, he'll leave you in your wake. X-Gamer trying to catch down, but it's all but too late. Senna's just controlling the gap, controlling the pace, controlling that car to another victory of his online career. The gaps are pretty much evened out now. This is not, well, technically this is our closest fight. Let's have a look who my driver of the day will be. So look at the detail, see how I think my driver of the day will definitely go to Jim Straff for starting last, and he will end up P4 at the end of this race. So my driver of the day will go to Jim Straff. So he'd be quite, I'll definitely tell him he'll be my driver of the day, of course, but it all comes down to the poll. But in my opinion, he'll definitely go to Jim Straff. But X-Gamer really pushing hard now, trying to catch down to Senna, but it's 2.2 seconds between the two cars, and Senna is just absolutely controlling it well. X-Gamer 2.3, it's just, he's just trying, isn't he? He's trying. You can just see Senna's car just there. He's trying. At the end of this corner, you'll see them just there, but he's just doing his best to catch it down, and X-Gamer is doing all he can. Fair play to him, but it's all coming to a sweet ending for Senna. The man just seems to dominate every single league he goes into, and and this will be a great redemption from Monday's horrific race that I was completely none of his fault. Senna will now go through the final, go into the second sector, controlling the car, controlling that silver arrow to another victory. Who is going to stop this guy? I mean, who's actually going to stop him? Because I don't know what will and what matters. Senna now goes into the Junjiao corner, into the final two bends, and Senna Martins comes through to win the Brazilian Grand Prix, and Senna Martins with the fast lap of the race, and that one extra point will take him to 26. X-Gamer did his hardest, and he should be quite proud to take P2 of this race, and Xander will come home in P3. James Straff will be coming home in P4. Here he comes. James Straff will take home P4. Good race from him. Ryan Van Doom will take P5. And there he goes. Team Nordström will come in P7. But is that result going to stand now? Look at that, look at Cobalt just catching up to Team Nordström at the end. But it doesn't really matter anyway. Senna Martins is your winner of this race. And there he is, the main man on the top step. I accidentally skipped that, so unfortunate for me, because I wanted to interview the drivers. So there you go then. Senna comes home P1, X-Gamer comes home P2, Xander P3, James Straff will come home P4. I don't believe Sissy Gambo is P4, I don't know. you guys asked me in Discord, I don't know. Ryan Van Doom P6, well, P5, he's going to be, well, you know, I don't know what the result is, but I do know these three are our top three, and I'm going to sort out the interviews as they go through. Just give me a second. I'm just going to sort myself out. Very good racing from the drivers. Right, now we're going to invite these lot through. Okay, right, let's go and interview the drivers then, shall we? Let's go invite Senna to the party. Let's speak to our race winner. Bang, there we go. Everyone is literally leaving. Here is Senna. And X Gamer are coming very shortly. Okay, let's see. We'll go to showroom. Here's X Gamer. Here he is.
Hello.
Let's start off with Sue Senna. I think that's good, sweet redemption for Monday. I think at the same circuit where you had a very bad day in the office.
Yeah, you can call that a redemption indeed. I enjoyed this one much more than Monday.
I mean, the race pretty much played into your hands, really, didn't it? With the strategy and the pace of the car as well. You just had a very comfortable day in the office.
Yeah, I told it to Sonic as well. It just feels like Lewis Hamilton win fastest lap on the last lap from pole to win. Yeah, I just had consistent pace together with X Gamer. But he made me sweat for it, staying in that 3-second gap all the race long. Even having fights on the first part of the race, then he made a silly mistake. So yeah, I'm very happy
I did notice you had a slight touch. Was it an accidental thing, X Gamer,
no,
or was it?
Touch.
Oh,
Nope.
oh, right. So there was no touch. I thought I saw a touch, but that's my eyes playing with my eyes there. So, Senna, you must be very happy though. Brazil on Monday for you was pretty much one of the worst days of your life, but
Yeah.
But this one feels really, really sweet, doesn't it? Good redemption.
It does. Yes, it is.
So on to the next race of America, and you should be looking forward to the American Grand Prix that's coming up for next Thursday.
America, I don't know. It's a very difficult circuit, and I don't really have the ability to put consistent laps in, just as here on Brazil. I'm struggling a lot with Sector 1 there in America. So yeah.
And final question, can you not ever stop winning? Because 2020 is becoming winning with you.
Well, I can't stop winning if things happen like a Monday. But
oh, true, yeah.
after that, I hope to keep winning as much as I can.
Very true. Okay, X Gamer, right, let's start. Good fight to the start of the race for Senna, but then he just pulled away, didn't he?
Yeah, we had a great fight, but yeah, I made a little mistake. And yeah, I lost 7 seconds, I think. Come back to 3, but yeah, then we got equal pace, so GG to him.
So was it you just over braking yourself, or trying to dodge Senna's backside, or?
I was trying on the inside to overtake him, but braking too late, and I need to brake later than normal on the curb. But if you brake and steer on the same time on that curb, you spin, and that's what happened. So
yeah.
So is that or crash into Senna?
Senna did pull off an amazing drive, and you did as well. After the spin, you literally tried to chase after him, but you said before, equal pace matters, and Senna just got the edge on you going into the final part of the race. And I mean, you two are so equal. You are both Belgian. You're two very fast drivers. According to the main championship, I think you two will be two that can becoming top contenders. So you do really think you could take the fight to Senna when the actual season gets underway?
I hope I can fight for championship, but in the first 2 races I got only P5, so it's my first podium. So I think you need to take the DNF next race and I win. That's my only chance.
So X-Gamer, so when it comes to USA coming up, like the circuit?
Wait, what did you say? I was not listening.
So what's your thought on when it comes to USA? Do you think you can try and beat him there? San Antonio was going to struggle.
Oh yeah, USA. I don't think I'm gonna win again like in S4. I was lucky then.
Do you think so? You're gonna try and get a legitimate win?
I will try to win, but it will be very difficult. You do provide some good serious racing when you are too close together, and I know you two are very good friends as well. So it's good to see that you two have a good friendly fight as well. The result was quite. Yeah. Yeah, so in terms of results actually, X, I saw the results of Asusi Gambo finishing P4, but he was glitching out all over the place. I don't know if he qualifies as P4. You might have to look back on the stream, but I believe Jim Strav finished in P4, but that's something you need to look back on, and you need to confirm it to me as well to clarify it. So if that's alright, if you have a look down on the stream to see if he clarifies P4, because he was glitching all over the place with the game. So I think it's around about P4 for Jim Strav, but. With this league coming around now, are you very happy with the league so far, or for any community? Yeah, it's okay. Just shame we got only 12 drives today. That's the only shame, but yeah, try to do next time better. It's a new league, so.
Yeah. So, Senna, how are you finding this league so far compared to the others you come into?
I didn't have any trouble yet. No, not too much trouble. Some drivers are relatively new and they still need some time, but I think we can work out a good grid, a very competitive grid.
That's good to hear. So that'll be it for us here for FRL. The Future Racing League has come to an end for another week, and we'll be going into the next race of the Circuit of the Americas. Let's see if Senna can see X-Gamer can stop Senna's stupid winning streak in 2020, but
it's not stupid.
It's legitimate. But let's see how X-Gamer could beat Senna going into the American Grand Prix. See you for next week for more FRL action coming. Colliver signing off.